Hey everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Happy Hour. I'm Mr. Happy. And today we're going to do something a little bit different. I was looking for some ideas to do that was off the furry spectrum. And I came up with cooking something that is both good and new and interesting. So, on Happy Hour, we're going to be making Louisiana-style gumbo. Now, I need to give a shout-out and a link in the description below from the gentleman that inspired me to do this, Mr. Charlie Andrews. You can find him on YouTube. He is from Louisiana, and he makes a bunch of different recipes and tells his secrets on how they're made and stuff like that. Highly recommend him, check him out, and give him some love. What we're going to do is we're going to go through each of the ingredients that I have, and I followed the instructions that Charlie's video did, but to be true to gumbo. I'm not ripping off Charlie, I'm not taking and doing everything the way he did it, because gumbo is not a strict recipe of just one style. You make it your own. So there are some things that I'm adding into mine that are not in Charlie's video, and there is stuff that I didn't use that was in Charlie's video. But the first thing we need to do is wash these things. Yeah. Now, if you've ever tried to make gumbo before, there is a correct way to do it and a wrong way to do it. And I'm not dogging anybody. It's just facts, okay? The box stuff that you find at the grocery store that says gumbo on it, that ain't real gumbo. I'm sorry. Get mad. Don't care. It's reality. Alright? There are key components to making a very, very good gumbo. And the one key is freshness. Here's our vegetables that we're going to be using in this recipe. We have your green onion, we have our celery, we have a clove of garlic, we have a red and green pepper. Now Charlie, you said a green bell pepper, but I also like the taste of the red, so we're going to combine the two for something new. We have a yellow onion, we have parsley, and we have okra. Another thing that makes a gumbo very flavorful, very tasteful, is the seasonings. So here are a few things that's going to be going into this gumbo. And if you want to try making gumbo, wine. If you want to make a gumbo yourself, then feel free to use this recipe. These are some of the things you were definitely going to need. We have Tony Chachere's Krill seasoning. By the way, none of these are sponsored. Who wants to pay me? We have gumbo filet. We have cardamom pods. We have Chef Paul Bourdon's Poultry and Seafood Magic. We have Accent. We also have Slap Your Mama. That's what it says. It says. And those are your seasonings. Now, onto the main thing that a lot of people don't know about or choose to avoid because maybe it's too hard to make, or the mama never told them about it. That's why you gotta slap her. The secret to a good gumbo is something called a roux. Yes, that is a real word. It is not kangaroo. Alright? It's called roux. It's the base that you make it's a bunch of cook scientific blah blah blah. I don't know. It just works. Okay? Try it. Here's what you're gonna need. going to need all-purpose flour and cooking oil, vegetable. That's it. Now, according to Charlie, we're going to need a dark brown roux. And it's simple. It just takes time and patience and a lot of stirring with a wooden spoon. Alright, so to get started on this, you're going to need 1 cup of oil. Alright, pour that in here. You're going to let that heat up for 3 minutes, get it nice and warm, and we'll go to the next step. Alright, now once that's heated up, you're going to add 1 cup of all-purpose flour. A little bit too hot. Maybe we can take that off for a little bit. Greatness is made of mistakes. Make sure it's not as high as I put it. But what you do is you just keep stirring until it changes dark brown. You keep stirring. You cannot stop stirring. That is a main thing. Alright? Do not stop stirring. Just keep on stirring. Put it back on the heat real quick. There. And we're going to see what happens with this, but according to what Charlie had said, it usually takes about 20-25 minutes. Sometimes it takes a half hour. So you're going to get an exercise. You didn't even have to pay to go to the gym. Just keep on stirring. Now there are all types of different roux. I haven't sat down and watched all the videos of them. Different colors or different roux for different recipes. But for what we're making, it's going to be a dark brown roux. And we've been stirring for about 5, maybe 6 minutes. If your arm gets tired, switch hands. But as you can see, it's starting to turn a little bit darker into more of a butter yellow. You just keep on stirring. Stirring, stirring, stirring. As you continue to stir, it's going to get darker and it's going to get thicker. It's going to start clumping up. That's good. That's what you're going for. Just make sure you keep stirring till it gets nice, thick, and dark brown. And it's going to start smelling really good, kind of like biscuits and gravy almost. Keep on keeping on. As you can see, it's starting to get darker and thicker. Looking real nice. Kind of like the consistency of peanut butter, almost. But it's now brown. But that's not the brown we're going for. We need a dark brown. So what do? Keep stirring. Yeah. As you can see, we're still stirring and it's getting darker. That is, it's looking really good, but this is still not the dark brown that we need. We need just a little bit more darker. So just keep on stirring. And if you think it's getting a little bit too hot, play with your temperature on your stove. Not all stoves are the same. I got mine down on number 5, which is halfway medium, and it seems to be doing the trick. So just keep it on going. And there is the dark brown roux. Now when you get done, it's the color, dark brown color. As you can see, take it off the heat and let it sit and let it cool completely down. And we move on to our next thing, which is time consuming. Oh, now, Mr. Happy, hold on a minute. What type of gumbo is this? You making vegan gumbo? No, 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 no. This is a seafood gumbo with a little bit of chicken. So let's get on to making, I'll introduce you to our meats. Now, hey Tyson. Say hi to everybody. Well, I don't have anything. I don't have anything. Okay? Go. Alright, so our meats are going to consist of chicken gizzards, sausage, and shrimp. Now the other thing that adds flavor to a gumbo is something called a stock. And we are going to make chicken stock, and we are going to make shrimp stock. Don't use plain old water. It don't work. It never has. It never will. So we're going to use stock. We're going to make our own stock. Everything that you see that we're going to do today on the happy hour is done by scratch. So we're going to get started by doing our chicken stock. And taking a sip every cutscene. Oh, and this isn't a warning for all of you non-meat eaters out there. At this point in the video, just stop watching. Because I like meat, and there's other people that like meat. We can still be friends. Just, I won't cook for you. Unless I make something vegan, which I am good at doing that. But this next part, you've been warned. We're messing with meat. Chicken gizzards. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get the gizzards out. We got 2 pounds of this stuff. The other pound's over there. And you're going to take each gizzard and you're going to cut it in half. And we're going to put it in, a bowl together. And after we do all that, then we're going to do our next step thing. But you want to do that. Cut each gizzard in half. Cut your gizzard. I cannot do this one-handed, but you get the picture. 2 pieces per each gizzard. Alright, so once you got all these chopped in halves, take them over to a slow cooker and dump them all in at once. Alright? Nice. Now, hold on 1 minute. Alright, once you got that done, you want to add 3 quarts, and if you're like me and you don't know what that means, I had to look it up. That is 12 cups of warm water to it. So, it's 4. Charlie, we got a problem. Now, you may have a bigger crock pot than I do, but I just added 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cups of water, and it's almost, not all the way, but almost full. So I'm gonna break the rules again and go away from the recipe just a little bit. I'm only adding 8 cups of water. Look at this, man. It's there. So we're stopping right there. Alright, so we're going to leave it like that, and you said don't use water. I said that earlier, but you gotta use water to get the mix your seasonings with it. We're going to need a tablespoon of Tony Chachere's Hourr seasoning. New packaging things. I hate them. I can never get them to freaking work. It has been spooned. Alright. Tablespoon of Hourr seasoning. And about a tablespoon of Chef Paul Prudhomme's Poultry Magic. We stir that. And that is going to cook slow for 8 hours. That's right. 8 hours. This recipe takes time, patience, and a lot of love. Because if you ain't got that in this recipe, your gumbo's gonna suck. God bless Louisiana. And them Louisiana moms that knew what they were doing. On to the next thing while we're waiting for hours. Now you have just got your hands flopping around in a bunch of chicken. And there is such thing as cross-contamination. And it can be very bad. And make your food very bad. So this masterpiece that you're about to make could end in disaster if you don't wash these again. I took my shirt off just in case that some got on my sleeves. Alright, so next we go to the shrimp. Oh yes, the shrimp. The shrimp. And we're not talking the frozen shrimp in a bag. No. This stuff is the fresh shrimp with the heads and stuff still on them. Safety tip. Shrimp are very finicky when it comes to temperature. You do not want them to reach high temperatures or getting lukewarm, so prepare them a nice ice bath when you have them out and stuff like that. When you're about to do the gross thing I'm about to show you, and a lesson that may turn you away from eating your shrimp at your local buffet. Alright, first things first, to Charlie. I don't live anywhere near New Orleans. And in your recipe, you had fresh New Orleans shrimp only, found local in New Orleans. Well, sir, I don't live there. So I had to do with what I had. And it was the local food market. And they got shrimps. Shrimps. Urgh. So, what we're going to do is we're going to dehead them, deshell them, and a lot of seafood places that I've found out, like Asian buffets, and also your little shrimps that you get at the store that comes in a little tray with a little cocktail sauce, stuff like that. If you look at your shrimp and you see a dark line in there, they didn't take the poop sack out. That's right, you're eating shit. We're not going to do that. We're taking deveining it, and make it nice, fresh, clean, and yummy. Alright, so here we go. We got your shrimp. And what you do is you take the head off and put it in a bucket. And then you're going to take the shell off. I am not an expert at this, but we're doing our best here. Let's get all that shell off of there. And you have your shrimp. Now what I'm doing is I am dumping them in another container of ice water to make sure they stay the temperature, the right temperature and stuff like that. So just go through all your shrimp, dehead them, deshell them, and we'll get to the next step in just a minute. Alright, now once you got all the heads ripped off and the skin ripped off and your stuff deveined, I'm not going to show that on here. Go give you a reason to go watch Charlie's video and he'll show you how to do it, because even me doing it makes me queasy. Just thinking of all those times I went out and I felt better. So what you're going to do now is you're going to take your your shrimp heads and stuff, put them in a pot, and I'll show you what you're going to do next. And you got all those in there, and now you're going to take your measuring cup and do exactly what you did with the gizzards. We're going to need 3 cups or 3 quarts of warm water. If this will take 3 quarts, which is 12 cups, we're going to see. How about that? It did. Alright, so we're going to add 2 to 3 tablespoons of Tony Chachere's Grill Seasoning. And 2 tablespoons of Chef Paul Prudhomme's Seafood Magic. And we're going to mix it. And then we're going to bring it to a boil. Alright, so now we're going to chop up our vegetables. You chop them up real good and mix them up, because they're going to be mixed up anyway. I figured I'd get a jump start on it. And then we're going to be doing something. That's just water, I washed it. We're going to be chopping up our okra and then frying the slime out of it. So let's get started on that. Alright, so after about an hour, your shrimp stock will be done. Now, as I was saying, the shrimp I used was 2 different types of shrimp because I like to experiment. Do what you want with this. Add what you want, to make it yours. But I don't live in New Orleans. I couldn't get New Orleans local native shrimp, so I had to settle for tiger shrimp and Gulf shrimp. Just de-shell them, devein them, keep them cold, so you don't want them to get warm at all. No, keep them cold. And then make your stock. So we got our shrimp stock done, and it's a couple more hours before that chicken stock gets done. Chop up your vegetables. I shouldn't have to show you how to chop up vegetables. You know how to chop up vegetables. You take the vegetable, you chop it up, and instead of keeping them separate, I mixed them all up into one big bowl to save on dishes. But that smells amazing. So most of all the hard work and stuff is done. I'm getting a little tipsy. Can't you tell? That's why it's called happy hour. And I'm not sponsored by anybody. I will show you what is in the drinking horn. Crafters Union Red Blend Premium Wine. It's my drink of choice. I love it. I can handle it. And it doesn't make me sick. It's one of the only boozes that doesn't make me sick, but makes me very happy. Now, let's get to the okra. Oh yeah, almost forgot. Strain your stock out of your shrimp and throw that away. That is now junk. Alright, so close to our finished steps of prep is the okra. A lot of people don't like okra, but the okra gives the gumbo another sensation of flavor. So chop it up like you chopped up your vegetables, and you're gonna add, if I can get this open, you're gonna add 1 tablespoon of oil. That may be a little bit more than a tablespoon, but oh well. And just like what we did with the roux, we're going to heat the oil. And we're going to cook the slime out of this right here. Just go ahead and pour that in. Get that in there and just start stirring. And just keep stirring until the slime is brown. And you'll be able to tell when the green starts turning brown and the okra itself starts to separate and break down. And it should look like burnt ashes, but not black, brown. But you just keep stirring until you get that consistency and that brown look. And now after you've cooked it all brown, there's no more slime. We're going to transfer. What are you doing on there? We're going to transfer this to a paper towel and we're going to press all the grease out of it. Alright, as you can see, I did use a little bit too much oil, but like I said, it was fine. Just press down and get all that grease out of there. If you have to do it a couple times, that's fine. You just don't need all that in your gumbo. And there you go. Put that in a bowl, tape it off with some saran wrap or tin foil, and set it aside, because that ain't done yet. Not for a while. Good morning. I made a mistake. I got the gizzards done, and I strained gizzards, put the stock in another container, and I got really tired, so I just went to bed. We're going to pick up early in the morning so we can finish this project. So let's get something to drink and move on to the next, which is searing our sausage. That didn't sound right. Too late, take it as it is. Alright, so once again we veered off of Charlie's recipe because I don't live in New Orleans. I can't get New Orleans hot sausage. So what we did is we got, since I live in Ohio in the Cincinnati area, we got Queen City hot sausage. And we can't roll them up in balls. We just have to slice them like regular sausage. And I wanted to do something a little different. So instead of just regular sausage or smoked sausage, we have cheddar smoked sausage. So it's going to be a different flavor. What we're going to do is we're going to chop these up, sear them in the pan, and that's it. That's simple. Alright, that feels a lot better. So, since we just woke up, you know what time it is. Wash the spirit fingers. Alright, so just take your sausage and cut them up in lengths, or cut them up in little pieces, like pieces. Not too thick, not too thin. Like so, like you do. Simple. Alright, go ahead and do that. So I ain't gotta waste a bunch of camera time. Now, as you progress, just want to make this clear. When you sear your sausages and, you get that done, you want to strain the grease out of them. Put them in a strainer or something and press down a little bit with a paper towel and get the grease out, because unless you're a greasy type of person, which I'm not, no. Keep cutting and searing. Alright, now that you have all the prep ready, you got your roux, you got your vegetables, you got your okra, you got your chicken gizzards, you got your sausages, and you got your stocks. It's time to put it all together in a pot. Whoa! Anyway, so first thing to do is you take your roux here, and you're going to put that in first and heat it up. Oh yeah, shrimps were over here. I didn't have them over there. Make sure you have shrimps. Okay, let's eat this. let that heat up. Alright, so after you've done that for about 3 minutes, and it's not like clumped up anymore because you put it in the refrigerator. You did put it in the refrigerator, right? It's alright if you didn't. But anyway. Now, we're going to add our vegetables. All at once. Now Charlie chopped his vegetables up really, really fine. I like chunky. So that's why I didn't chop them up like powder. No offense, Charles Lee, but I did not do that. But we can still stir this up just fine. We're going to add our okra. Then we add our stocks. There's that. And there's that. Mix that all up. Then we're going to let that. Oh wait, here, let me show you. Alright, so we're gonna let that cook on medium heat for 1 hour. 1 hour. Make sure you cover it too. Alright? I'm gonna go do something. Play WoW. Alright, so it's been an hour. Look at that. Yeah. Let's move this over here so you can see it better. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to add the meat. Alright, we're going to add the chicken gizzards. Put those in there. Sausage. Mix it all up in here. We're going to add the seasoning. 1 tablespoon of Chef Paul Perdon's seafood. A teaspoon of Chef Paul Perdon's poultry. A teaspoon of krill seasoning. And we're going to give it a little spice with slap him on. Alright, mix it up. Put that back on heat and let that boil a little bit. Just to be clear, when you put your meats in there, stir it up real good. Mix all that in there, and then you're going to let that boil for another hour. Alright? Make sure, I can't find the camera anywhere, this stupid device, it's right there. Hi. I keep looking over here. Like a, I'm almost out of juice. Let that cook for a while. I gotta get juiced up. 1 hour. Remember, 1 hour. Alright. Stir that up. And next add the shrimp, which I already had and I forgot to record it, so. And then add a heaping tablespoon of gumbo feely. Oh. Stir that up. And then let that boil for about 5 to 10 minutes. Now, if you like rice with it or whatnot, you can try it and make your rice. Put rice in there with 2 cups of water and toss in a few cardamom pods for fragrance. And let that cook for 30 minutes. After all that, it's all done. Look at that. And our rice is done. So let's get a bowl. I'm going to put a scoop of rice in the center because I don't have a ice cream scoop. Looks like I have some spillage right there. I'll clean that up in a minute. And then get some of this good chunky goodness. Get some of this good juice. And in true me fashion, the presentation sucks. But oh well, there you have it. So, that was making gumbo from scratch. Big thanks to Charlie Andrews. Again, his link is in the description below. And I would also like to give a shout out to my friend Duchess, who has been harping on me to get off my butt and make a video, make some content, do something. And I appreciate friends like that get me out of a funk where I need to make more stuff. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it comes out real good when you make yours. So let's check this out. Didn't mind, get your own bowl.